spectacular view from his Russian Hill apartment or the vacation home and sea ranch. Much more important in leading to happiness is individual freedom. Given the Friedman's savvy powers of perception, my take on it is that the Friedmans were astute enough to see that people are born, they come into this world, they look around, they gather facts, observe things, learn from their families, and pick up ideas, then develop values, then they cast off beliefs that they realize aren't right on, and then they ultimately strive to seek their own destiny in life, and borrowing a phrase, determine their own unique pursuit of happiness. And when you think about that, fulfilling your own destiny, pursuing your own happiness requires freedom. And that in turn requires free markets. This is one of my favorite passages from Frida Choose. In commenting on their world travels. Think about that. See, remember I said Adam Smith learned everything he described in Wealth of Nations by his travels through Europe. It's interesting that in Frida Choose they comment on the world travels, and the Friedmans wrote, "Wherever we found some beauty in the ordinary life of man." By the way, isn't that a beautiful phrase? Some beauty in the ordinary life of man. They were just wonderful writers. What is that? What's some beauty in the ordinary life of man? That's happiness. Wherever we found, if you translate it to happiness, there we found that the private market was the main device being used to organize economic activity. On the Chapman campus, just across the bust of Milton Friedman, is a bust of Friedman's longtime colleague and friend. We worked together on the Council of Economic Advisors when Milton Friedman was still alive, and I remember George Schultz used to drive Milton to Sacramento from their homes in San Francisco. But just across from the Friedman bust is a bust of George Schultz that commemorates the establishment of the Donald Bren Chair in economics, which I had the honor and privilege of holding at Chapman. That was another bus where I could call George Schultz and ask him, what quote would you want on your pedestal? And his selection was, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance and a willingness to act in its defense. Now, if we are to give future generations the freedom to realize their hopes and dreams, we must, as Milton Friedman taught us and George Schultz reminded us, to be ever vigilant